everybody, it's Catherine and happy Tuesday and welcome to our lovely Tuesday sewing. So slow stitch and chat. Sorry I didn't get a video done yesterday. Oh, loads of tech issues going on at the minute. I'll tell you all about it later when we've done our deep breathing and got into our relaxing stitching. I'll tell you all about it. Now, first of all, we've got to do the pick. We'll do the pick now. Please, anybody that's not contributed, please send some pick ideas to go in the slow stitch jar. Those that are new, we pick 2 out every week so that we've got 2 things that we can add to our slow stitch project for that week. And right then, so, oh, have I got 2? There's 2 here. There we go. Right, the first one that's come out is Lynn. Lynn has asked for lace, so that is a really nice one for this week. And what have we got on this one? A piece of old clothing. So something from a piece of old clothing. So I'm not suggesting you go and cut up your best stuff. But I'm sure we've got all bits of that in our stash about. Oh, lovely. They're 2 nice fabricy ones this week. How strange that they've come out together like that. So, as usual, I think we'll show you some spring flowers today while you go off and find your bits that you need. Okay, I'll be right back. Right, so I'm eking out my mum's Devore jacket, and I thought bottom of the seabed, we'll have a bit of that. And I've got some, look at the colour of this lace. So thank you for that, Lynn. That is great. I'm going to do something with that. So let's do our, let's chill. Let's get in the here and now and do a bit of meditation breathing. Because, you know, if you've been with me a while, you'll know that that's what slow stitch is about. It's about having time to relax and chill and be in the here and now. And so, okay then, my lovelies. So, get yourself nice and comfortable. Nice and comfortable. I want you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in and out, in and out. And as you're doing so, all the tension is leaving your body on every breath out. So in and out, and let your body start to relax. Feel those aches and pains leave. Feel all the worries of the day leave. We're just going to concentrate on a bit of time for you, the here and now. This is your time. This is your hour. This is time for you to do some nice relaxation, to sit comfortably and to do what you enjoy, stitching. Just take a few moments to just relax. Let everything leave your body, all the tension and worries, and relax. And I want you to imagine a beautiful sunny day. Feel those rays of lovely sunlight, making you feel warm and relaxed. And I want you to take a deep breath in and out. And I want you to start taking some more deep breath in and out. And start opening your eyes slowly in your own time. Breathe in and out. Slowly open your eyes. Breathe in and out. Sit for a few moments. You're now relaxed. You're now here. In the here and now, nothing else matters but to do some nice slow stitching. And here we are, we're ready to start our Tuesday slow stitch and chat. And as always, I should always say it, which I usually do at the beginning, do not do any operating machinery or driving a car while you're doing relaxation and meditation. And certainly don't close your eyes. Right then, good morning, good morning. Let's see what we can do now. I've done a little bit more to my, I'm hoping you can tell what it is now. I'm hoping, you know, last week David's kit wasn't quite ready. And apart from the technical issues, we're hoping it'll be ready for Friday. We've got to get an old printer out and see. David's old photographic printer, which is a big for doing massive printing, but we're hoping it's going to work because we've had a bit of a mare with the Epson. Different sort of issue, I think, to I know Rachel was saying, and some of the other girls, that since they've had the new updates, software updates, that they'd had a bit of a glitch with the printers and they were getting funny black lines. Oh dear, ours has gone beyond black lines. But anyway, I'll tell you about it. I'm going to just put, now I'm going to cut this in half. I quite like the bottom because I think it looks like waves. I don't know if I told you this last week, that one of my fave films is Bedknobs and Broomsticks, the original one. I think they've done a more recent version of it, but obviously I'm still in book mode. I watched the original version. That must have been out in the 60s. We went to the cinema to see it, and then that's the one that my boys grew to love. And in that, if you've not seen it, there's the most amazing underwater scene in that. And they go into this magical underwater scene. And this is what inspired me, I suppose, for this. And there's... do I want it all along? Do I want it there? Oh, I don't know now. I'll have to leave it there and have a think about it for a minute. Do I want it just like that? We'll leave it and have a think about it. I'm just going to cut a small piece because, you know, I'm eking out my mum's devore, but it is a piece of old clothing with very special memories. Now I'm taking that to be my feather. So yeah, the bird from last week's, its feather there floated down. And do we put that there, or do we put it there? Now that's going to be the centre, so I've got my centre spine, which is going to be two inches. Or do I put it? In actual fact, I think I like it there. So I'm going to put it there. Going to put it in there like that, I think. Now what I've done here, I did a load of beading because this is the rocky bottom. This is the seabed. I hope you can tell it's a seabed. got my big puffer fish there, and I've done some couching here and some rocks, so I've done this beading. I'm going to put some more of this. Now, I was inspired with this is because I have this idea. I've not done my tag. I'm 2 tags behind, I'm sure. I've got 2 tags to do of handmade, 52 tags handmade, and I've got this beautiful viscose ribbon that I've had a long time from when Textile used to get all my stuff from Textile Yarns in the UK. Unfortunately, they went out of business, and I'm wondering if I couch that on there. Yes, I think I will do. I'm going to do that. So I'll get my black thread out, and I've got some, I don't know if it's black and navy blue now, thinking about it. It's navy blue, because I think when you put it at the side of my scissors, I think it's a bit more navy blue than black, but it doesn't matter. Depends how your eyes work on the day, I think. Okay, it's a lovely sunny day. It's going to be glorious today. And it always makes you feel better, doesn't it, when the sun's shining? That's why I wanted to incorporate feeling that sunshine. Oops. Let's let it unravel. Ravel. Yeah. I've already been out with Nelson. Been out, took Nelson before David had even stirred. Right, let's go. We're ready. So, what's been happening with the printer and the technical things? Right, okay. For the last week or so, it has been the printer. I mean, it always gives funny messages. I love this eco tank because of the, you know, if you're doing junk journaling or any sort of paper printing on a regular basis, the eco tank, Epson eco tank, is wonderful. I love it. Now I need to be at that end. Right, we'll go backwards. Otherwise I won't be able to do my, what do you call it, stitch, buttonhole. So I'm just going to anchor it down. I like anchor it down, it's floated away. That's why you have to anchor it down. It's going to float away. Yeah. Get there, you baddle. There'd been a message coming up that's saying your ink pads, something like the ink pads are getting near servicing. The ink pads now. This is important because I think it's something to consider. I didn't realise that these ink pads become oversaturated. I don't know whether they're like an extra reservoir, so that when you've done so much printing, if there's any spare ink flying around, there's some sort of absorbent pads in there, like felt pads, that soak it up, and that's what these ink pads are, I think. Don't quote me on that because, you know, I'm not computer technical. And so it's been saying that for a while, and I thought, oh well, that's, you know, keep pressing okay like you do, ignoring it, and suddenly packed in, which is typical because, you know, we're in the process of doing all this printing and you know, making adjustments to the digitals ready. So anyway, David went and looked up about this ink pad business on the Epson, and there's loads of tutorials from people, these computer geeks showing you how to take your computer apart and I've got aeroplanes now, Air Force out practicing to see if you can hear all that whooshing, and take it apart and take these pads out and wash them and then dry them and put them back in, which seems a messy process, and I'm thinking, well, did we really ought to be doing that? And then I said to David, well, do you think you can just buy these as a kit instead of taking them apart, and whether you can just slot it in as a new cartridge with the ink pads inside? So we didn't get very far with that, although you can get them, but then you have to be very careful, because there's no point in doing any of that unless you restart the counter. So apparently there's a counter inside that counts how many copies you've done, and after so many copies, obviously these messages start coming up that, you know, you've done all these copies and your ink pad's wearing out. So you have to reset this like a Geiger counter, if that's what it's called, or is that just measuring radiation? I don't know. And so there's no point in doing all that cleaning and following these YouTube videos if you can't reset. It won't work still, because it doesn't recognise that it's been, you know, that you're back to print number 1. So you look into all that, and then you oh, well, this is it, this is how you do it. You have to go to this company and they'll tell you how to reset it or whatever, but you have to pay to reset it. So we then decided, because this printer's 2 years, 2019, did we get 2019, or is it 2019, 2018? I think we bought it. We actually bought it for the Black Friday sales. Now, I thought we only got it in 2018, in which case I'm sure it's only 18 months old, but it does get a lot of use. But anyway, I thought, well, we've got a computer. It wasn't, you know, it's not the top of the range eco tanks, but it's still about £250 worth, you know. Are we going to make a mess of it and damage it and will Epson not be, you know, you start fiddling about. It's all right with really old stuff, following these things on YouTube, but, you know, if you've got a relatively new, decent printer, do you want to mess that up by doing something that you're really not the expert at? So we decided to get in touch with Epson, and they say, right, you have to get in touch with, leave that there for now, you have to get in touch with your local Epson registered place for your area. So we did that. There is one in Scarborough, but the person that deals with this wasn't there till this morning. Anyway, he has rung this morning, and you can send them away to Epsom to have this done properly. They don't do it anymore because he said it's not worth it, because at the end of the day, the cost that they would have to charge us and the cost that Epsom charged to do these ink pads basically is the same as buying a brand new printer, because this is now, there's now been superseded by a, you know, a new variety. So that was today's shocker, really, because, you know, if you run an Etsy business and you're paper crafting all the time, and obviously now that, you know, we're getting into doing digital work, your printer is your, you know, is your business tool, really. So that's where we stand. We did see these new pads. So at the end of the day, if we've got to buy a new printer, David sort of said, well, you know, if we're going to buy a new one and we'll have to, like, throw it away. Sorry, I'm trying to get my eyes so you can see. We may as well have a go at then trying to clean it. it might just give us a little bit of time. Crikey, I'm getting myself, it's because I'm talking at the same time, aren't I? And so you can get these new pads from AliExpress, but you know, you hear good and bad about AliExpress, don't you? And we can't seem to find anybody else that does them. It seems that you've got to get these pads in the right order because they are different shapes. And I've heard that, you know, you could be waiting months from AliExpress at the moment. So we're in this is the quandary now. So we're quandarying what to do for the best. I didn't really want to have to pay £250 for a new printer. And also, as you know, the filming camera is holding on with the wing and a prayer. So yes. So if we suddenly disappear, don't worry, you know, it's our kit is failing us. Right, okay. Just get this new thing in place and then we'll take that around. Okay, so I'm just doing blanket stitch. Anybody that's not familiar, and I'm not the expert stitcher, blanket stitch is not my most favourite of stitches. So I'm couching it on because I had this idea. I'd not done it before. I did this down here because I had this idea that the blanket stitch tag for 52 tags handmade, that I would use some of this, because when I was sorting out the craft room, as you know, with my new carts, I thought I need to start using stuff up. And I'd had this a long while since I was doing my college course, which was must have been 2009. And right, I want to catch that. And I thought it'd be nice to use them up on this tag. So I thought, oh, that'd be nice. I could use them to blanket stitch. So that's where my idea came from, this. And then I got to thinking that'll look nice as on my seabed. So blanket stitch. And have I caught that in there? Yes. So basically you've got this stitch running along the edge, and if you've got, it's a good one if you've got rough edges, which this is just to neaten them up a little bit. You don't have to put any ribbon or anything around it, you can just neaten it with button stitch. So you would come the other way. If you want this to be neatened, you would obviously have this thread, you'd have your fabric the other way around and you'd come here. So you would have your top stitch neatening that rough edge. But because I'm couching it with this, not cutting it, sorry, that doesn't matter. So what you do is you take a stitch down, wait a minute, because I've got slippy viscose and I've got my mum's velvet, keep still. So you take a stitch down, making sure that your thread is behind it, because that's what's going to give you your loop, your neatening loop at the top. And then just pull it, and there you have your stitch. Okay, now I'm trying to hold on to that. So take your stitch along. I'm having told my couching bit as well. Take your stitch along. Now your tails here, it's up to you how long you have these tails. You can do them longer or shorter for decorative effect, or you can have them close together or widely spaced. And there we go, there you have your stitch. Okay, so move your stitch along the top where you want it, do your little leg, bring it through, it makes it more difficult because I'm couching at the same time. So okay, I'm making it difficult for myself. Right, okay. Oh, that's a tough little bit. That's where the devore is more thick, where it's filled in. Okay. And I'm going to take that round the corner. You can see that. So a tail, put it through, make sure that your neatening stitch is there in place and move it along. And I think actually it gives a nice effect, doesn't it, on this seabed. So I'm just going to seal that in place. It's very annoying. This this viscose thread doesn't do as it's told. It's slippy. Oh, just anchoring it into place. There. I think that looks quite nice with the beads. I really enjoyed doing them at the weekend. Ouch! Oh, now it couldn't be a sewing stitch day, could it, without me sticking. I've got more wounds sticking that in me. There we go. We're just going to tie that off, make sure that's nice and secure on the back. Okay, so we can snip that off now. I mean, we'll leave it for now. So what do I do around there? Now, I think I'm just going to sew it. I'm just going to stab stitch that on. I've got enough there, I might have. There we go. So, just wanted you to be aware that is, I've not heard anybody else mention this about the ink pads, not in the craft world anyway. So if you know, I was quite shocked at how much we have printed. If you're buying it for normal use, you know, normal use, and you don't print many things off, you know, you're not make journals or whatever. Because if you think about it, you know, if you're using printing off for a four-piece journal, 4 signature journal, it's surprising how many. So that's another reason to use up your stash and use up what you've already got printed, and using scrap, basically. Recycle as much as you can. But I would, you know, I enjoy incorporating the old and the new. I enjoy using scrap and recycling my, you know, packaging and wrapping paper and stuff, but I enjoy the digitals side of it and the beautiful things that you can print. But also, you know, we can print old ephemera. You don't always want to put the original every journal because it gets costly if you do. And it gets costly for your customer. You know, I was sort of looking at the prices. I was looking at Pam from the Paper Outpost, and she'd made some sets with 3 little different journals in. Now, she always puts original ephemera in her journals, but you're talking 180 to 150 per journal, because you know, she uses all that original stuff. And it's all vintage and authentic, and therefore, you know, she has to pay for it, and therefore that has to be passed on to you guys. And so, you know, I do feel that digitals have a big place in. How do I wrap that around there? I think I do. Just neatens it off a bit, doesn't it? We'll do that. We'll put it like that. Yes, I think it does. I think it. I think they have and I enjoy using them. I've really found my love of collage. I love it. And don't get my pins out. Do you like my pin cushion I made? Every Christmas party, which obviously we couldn't have one last year, but every Christmas party with my real life sewing club, we make something and then have our party and a load of food, which is lovely. Yeah, we made these. We made them the last party. I think it was yeah, so that was 2019 Christmas party. So I've told you about the printer. What else have I got? Oh yes, now then. And I suppose, I don't like that one. I suppose following on from, you know, doing the relaxation. So anybody new here, I have got qualifications in meditation. So it's not just some wacky crafting lady doing a bit of deep breathing with you. I am qualified to do that. I have got a diploma and a teaching diploma in meditation, and also I'm a Reiki healer. And so at the moment, because it all falls in line with what I did anyway with I did a lot of work in occupational health. You know, after I left the hospital work, as it were, I specialised in occupational health, and especially in industry, in the workplace. And it's very interesting, you know, work-related ill health, or you know, mental and physical problems that people have, how that affects the work is a very interesting subject. And so I did do a lot of work training managers and team leaders and things on recognising stress in the workplace and stress management. And so hence that's why I went and got a qualification to teach stress management. And part and parcel of that then is the fact that relaxation, Reiki healing. I did have a big company that was quite a manual job, and they took on board doing, at the beginning of the day and at lunchtime, they took on board that everybody stopped and they did like a yoga type stretching stuff, which was marvellous because it was a very manufacturing type environment, you know. And they recognised that people, they were, you know, referring to me, so many people with repetitive strain injuries and you know, things like that, that they actually took this on board and did it every day. It was great, and it did reduce the number of problems. And so, you know, a lot of these complementary things that we can learn about had a big place. It's taken a long time. I want like a blue colour, don't I? It's taken a long time really for, especially coming from a scientific background in nursing, medicine, that's a nice colour, to acknowledge complementary therapies. And now, you know, they do use it a lot in the health service for cancer patients. And I know when my mum was in UCL in London, the big London hospital, they did have a complementary therapist that used to go round and offer, you know, the terminally ill patients, would they like Reiki heal, you know, although healing gives them the wrong, they never pretend that you're going to heal somebody that's got terminal cancer. So, you know, it's very much a well-being technique in that respect. You know, makes people more comfortable. And I believe whatever you try that makes people more comfortable is worth it. It made my heart sing, really, that they were offering that to their patients. And it's a big, massive university hospital. So that was lovely. So anyway, I've digressed, haven't I? Yeah. So I'm just going to sew along this. So part and parcel of being a Reiki healer, etc. I'm doing a course this week. You know, glutton for punishment, as if I haven't got enough on. Because one of my teachers, who I did my meditation training with, and I didn't do Reiki with her, but I do Sakim healing and other therapies I did with her. And we're doing this course, which is like enlightenment light, and I know it's not for everybody, and I'm not one to talk about it to everybody. It's not everybody doesn't you know, on a craft channel people don't want, oh no, we don't want this, but because I think it's relevant to what we're doing today with the slow stitching. So light and energy healing. And you know, I've seen, and I think perhaps I was very sceptical to start with years ago, because I'd come from a very strict medical training background, and there was nobody more sceptical than doctors about the place for complementary medicine. And it's now being embraced, and it was something that I remember Prince Charles, those of you that are, you know, in the UK, we used to laugh at him, which is awful, but he very much years ago used to talk to plants and you know, to help with the growth. And there's been studies now, haven't there, that shows that all these things do work. However they do, we can't, oh, the end's come off that pin. We can't, sometimes we can't, people like to have that proof, and sometimes for things like that you can never really find proof. But I have seen things. You see these programs on television, don't you, where people are about to go under the surgeon's knife to have something removed, and they've been to these experts, and then they go for an x-ray and it's gone, and you think, nah, load of rubbish, it's all fixed. A friend of mine had a real terrible problem with her ankle, and the doctors couldn't get to the bottom of what was wrong with it. They thought it was some sort of arthritis problem, but she was in a lot of pain. Very sceptical friend, I do have to say. Thinks it's mumbo jumbo, or did. So I said, let me do, what have you got to lose? You're in a lot of pain with it. Let me do, you know, some Reiki on you. And she can't believe how that, she's never had a problem with it since. And she tells everybody all about it, you know, because even the doctors, and they'll say, well, I can't understand how you're able to move that because your x-rays are a mess, you know. And she tells everybody how she is astounded, and she can't believe how that her ankle's working. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing there. It's a long story just to tell you I'm doing this in the evenings, this course. We're doing it online, you know, we're Zooming or whatever. I leave it, you know, I'm not very technical with that. As long as they send me the link and I can click on it and I'm there, I'm all right. If I've got to start setting something up, oh goodness me, I'm probably connecting with somebody at the other side of the universe, the world. I think that gives it a nice touch. So thank you, Lynn, for mentioning lace, because we're all doing different projects, aren't we? And like fish, a bird, you can see now, can't you, when you see what I'm doing, why a bird didn't really fit. But this is my bird feather, and it could be, you know, it could be a sort of a feathery type plant. So I am doing that. And also, I think what I've not told you is I am training to be a journal therapist, because it all, you know, I've seen the benefits of all the stuff, stress management, ouch, that I did in the workplace. And I've seen, you know, it's kept people at work doing it. You know, it has kept people at work, and obviously helped their well-being. And so I thought, why not? I saw this, and I thought, yes, I'm in. That's me. That's me. Love journals, love journaling, love making journals. And it you know, it really is another qualification. I mean, I haven't been using since my mum died, and I think now is the time to start again, helping people with you know, this is like I was on about retiring and it was tough. Well, I think it'd be fabulous to be able to offer, and you can offer, you know, I'm even may offer it through my Etsy. That, and I think never as a time when we've needed stuff with this pandemic and how it's affected us all. And if the people that say it hasn't affected them in any way, I don't think they're being honest with themselves. I think the strongest of people have been suffering. I can't get this threaded to take it through the back. Look, I've left it too short again. My usual trick. So watch this space. It may well be that there's, as I'm going through the course, there's some interesting little things that I might make a video out of, something that we, you know, we could be making or whatever. I don't know. So I am looking forward to seeing what that brings, and it will be nice to be able then to be a qualified journal therapist, to add that in with my creative skills, to be able to offer distance courses or whatever. I think that'd be great. I'm looking forward to it. A long way to go yet. I've got to pass this course. As if I ain't got enough things with 2 YouTube channels and videoing and sewing, making journals, reading books. But I needed it. I needed to find, you know, a new thing, a new outlet. And I think it's the first time, and I think those of you that have lost your mum, however long ago, you realise that for a while you lose your, in a way you like lose your sparkle. You have not felt like doing, you know, I've not felt like doing any of my energy work or whatever to help others, because I haven't had any energy myself, you know, and especially like, as you know, I've had a lot of health issues, and that needs throwing away that. I've not had the energy myself, and so therefore you're no good to anybody else if you're no good yourself, are you? So I really do feel now, and I think this channel has helped, and I know I've sort of digressed a bit, but you know, we're in Slow Stitch Tuesday, it's the place. It's the first time in 3 years since I lost my mum that I now feel that my energies are getting replenished, and you know, I'm able to help others more. And yes, So I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with the journaling, you know, what they have people doing. And I mean, we all know. Yeah, we all know that journaling takes so many different guises and different sorts of journaling, and everybody does it in their own way. And I think we all, I don't know, let me know in the comments if you think like this, but I think in a way we all put something of ourselves that we need to release into our journaling or our sewing, or, you know, making of the books, crafting. I think it's like feeding your soul. I read that recently, and somebody said, well, crafting is feeding my soul, and you can understand that, can't you? And I think all of us, I mean, I do journal, and I find that when I'm feeling off it and things are playing on my mind and I'm down, I journal more. I notice that I do that and I get it all off my chest, and then I feel better. And then when it's great, I think, oh, I haven't journaled for 4 days, I haven't written anything down. And so I think we use journaling and crafting as that means of self-help, really. Does that sort of make sense? Does it resonate with you, or am I just off on la la land? Been quite pathetic, haven't pathetic? Yes, pathetic. This video. This is, and all this has come from my printer. My printer going up the Swanee. Oh dear. Anyway, the excitement is building. We're hoping Friday. We're hoping. I am really, really thrilled. Oh, it's not within my reach. I keep trying to show you a sneak peek. It's not there. He's moved them. I'm thrilled. I mean, hopefully you can see how this is coming on now. So this is going to be the spine. So that's my 2-inch spine, which I think will be nice. And then this is the front. So I think it's coming on. I don't know if I like that quite so square. I might round that a bit. And then obviously this is the back. Got my, you can see what it is now, can't you? Hopefully, my puffer fish and my other little angel fish, I think that is. This will be a fabulous cover, I think. And I'm not this wouldn't normally be something that I'd make, if I'm honest. But going back to Bedknobs and Broomsticks, if you haven't seen it, you need to see that. I don't know if it's Angela Lansbury that's in that as the original witchy woman. I don't know. I don't know if it was made about in the 60s. Might have been the late 50s. Oh, I just love that film. Love it. Love it. And the underwater, for when it was made as well, it's special. You know, there's all these fish and it's marvellous. And there's this little song and it goes, bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. Do, 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 do. Yeah, you'll think I've definitely lost it now, don't you? Please don't unsubscribe because you've had to hear my singing, please, please. We're doing well. Okay then, one more little thing and then I think it's about a video. It's surprising. You come and sit down on my, my house, cup of tea, bit of sewing. Where does the time go? I'm not liking this shaped like that, so that's a bit better. I want something round there to tie it in. I've decided I'm getting rid of that. Don't like that. Now, what was the other thing? My piece of clothing. So I've done it, haven't I? Lace and a piece of clothing. So my piece of clothing there. So, you know, whoever gets this has got, it's very tactile. Got a lovely piece from my mum's jacket. And thank you, Lynn, for the lace. So please, please, my jar is getting a bit sparse. I want you to send some prompts in if you haven't already, please. It's getting where I keep having to add some, and I want this to be as interactive as possible because we're all joining in, we're all stitching together, aren't we? Do I leave it at that? I think I probably do. I think we're knocking on for an hour, believe it or not. I think that's coming on nicely. I've decided that I'm going to... Have I got any blue? No. We'll just finish this off and I'll start doing what I was going to say. I think there's a big gap of this going round here. Can you see I've got like little feeler things going up there, waves, and I think that it seems to come to an abrupt halt here. So I think I need to carry this round. We'll just quickly do that now. So I hope you've enjoyed sitting and stitching with me today. You found out a bit more about my qualifications and other things that I've been involved in. And as I say, it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. I've mentioned it because I feel it's relevant, especially the fact that I'm going to be qualified to be able to point a few people in the right direction with journaling for therapy and to improve their well-being, get their thoughts down, and you know, I think that will be helpful to a lot of people. And I'm thinking about it, it'd probably be on different levels. You know, you might just need a one-off how to what sort of things to do, and then other people, like with my stress management, other people needed more intense things to do. So I'm excited. I'm thinking I'm going to make some gratitude journals next, some small gratitude journals. Probably about 40 pages, I was thinking. When I was walking Nelson this morning, I was thinking about it. And I thought, well, 40 pages, just be nice for the month. We've got a few extra then, you know, and it'd be nothing. It'd be quite small, something easy to go in a purse. And I think a lot more of us have done a lot more reflection and being grateful for things since the pandemic. I don't know where I'm going with this stitch, I'm just aiming in the right direction. So we're nearly at 600 subscribers, guys. Thank you so much. If you've not already subscribed, please do so. I think I'm about 10 or 11 off the 600. So I'm really happy. The channel is steadily growing, and that's wonderful. And all being well, we can get the oak printer to work. Launching. We're not quite sure what we're going to call it yet. I don't know whether it's going to be aquatic or whatever. Whatever David decides to call it. It's stunning though. I do have to say that myself, and considering we're not big in, you know, this is quite a new thing for us digitals. It is stunning because he's used his own art. He has used his own artwork as backgrounds, and I can't believe how beautiful they've come out. Photographed his original art and then obviously made the digitals from there, and I'm really proud of him. You know, he's not done this before. He had another little chat with Arjo yesterday about how he was going with it, and Arjo gives him a few more little pointers, and then hopefully he can pass these. It's a new way for David to use his art, really. And I'm hoping that loads of you will love it and want to buy it. So thank you very much for joining me today. I've already suggested that you like and subscribe because we're nearly at that 600. It'd be lovely to get there. if we can get there before the end of March, that'd be even extra special. And Thursday we've got Junk Journal Thursday. I'm going to do some more in my using up the scrap stash, and as I say, Friday hopefully. So Friday, hopefully, printer willing, launch of the new digital that will go with my lovely cover. I'm enjoying doing this. It's really out my comfort zone, this sort of cover, but I'm enjoying it. So thank you as always for joining me today. Hope you've had a lovely relaxing hour, time for yourself. Much love as always. Keep safe out there. See you. Bye.